FeatureCAM 2015 now adds automation for applying tolerances to turned parts. The user can enter individual upper and lower tolerances or choose from a list of ISO 286-2 predefined tolerances for shaft sizes between 3 and 400 mm. This function is available for orthogonal or stair-stepped curves with fillets and chamfers. So in this example we have a shaft type part. If we look towards the part view, we can see we currently have only one facing feature programmed. Now we have a variety of tolerances applied to this part, and we wish to turn from the face to this portion of the shaft, so the largest diameter and the end shoulder. If I turn on my dimensions layer, we'll see the tolerances applied to the shaft like so, and what we can notice is that the part in some cases has been designed to one extremity of the tolerance. So in this instance, when this occurs, we will either have to extract the relevant geometry and try to offset this geometry to account for the tolerances, or we will have to completely redesign the part from our CAD. So now in FeatureCAM we're able to take advantage of a new turning tolerance add-in that applies the tolerances, both an upper and lower, to our nominal CAD data, updating it parametrically. So if I navigate to my browser, I'm going to go to my folder directory. We can see we have the turn tolerances .bas file. We also have a JPEG image, which is just a reference of the tolerances applied to the part. So in this case I've already loaded in my macro. If I come to the part view, I now wish to create my turn feature. So I'm not going to worry about any of the tolerances applied to the part. I have a pre-created turn curve. I'm just going to go to a new turn from curve, select that OD turn curve, and I can accept all of the defaults in this instance. So with my turn feature selected, I'm going to go ahead and run the add-in, and we see straight away we're prompted to choose an upper limit for chamfer and fillet size. So any diagonal segments or arcs shorter than this limit will be considered to be chamfers or fillets, and anything larger will be considered a line segment or an arc. So at this stage I'm just going to cancel and turn on my dimensions once again. So in this instance my largest fillet is 2 mm and all of my chamfers are 0.5 mm. So I'm going to reselect my turn feature, reposition the part, and once again run the macro. So in this instance, just to be safe, I'm going to enter a slightly larger value of 2.5 and say OK, and then what we see is that the add-in extracts the curve from the turn feature, breaks the curve into geometry and separate segments shown on screen. So we're able to select the separate segments like so, and we can at the bottom make some user interface changes. We can switch on and off our segment labels, and if we so wish we can change the size of these labels. So I'm going to refer back to my tolerance sheet, and what we can see for segment 0, so the largest diameter, we have a tolerance of A12. If I go back to my user dialog, I can see segment 0 selected. From my list of ISO tolerances, I'm simply going to select A12. This populates both my upper and lower tolerance, and to apply the tolerance to the segment I can simply select apply, and we see the calculated tolerance for the particular segment. Segments 1 and 2 had no tolerances applied. Segment 3, if we refer to our image, had an upper tolerance of 0.15 and a lower tolerance of 0.5 mm. So it's also important to note that these tolerances have been exaggerated for the purpose of this demonstration. So I'm going to apply those tolerances to segment 3. Again, select apply, and it calculates the relevant tolerance for the segment. Segment 4 had an upper tolerance of 0.5 millimeter, and segment 5 a lower tolerance of -0.5 millimeter. So segment 4, I can add my upper tolerance and apply, and segment 5 I'm going to add the -0.5 millimeter. Once again say apply. I've applied all of the relevant tolerances to the entirety of my turn feature, so at this stage I can say OK. I'm prompted that a new curve and feature has been created. So as I say OK, the view's recentered and the model reshaded. So I'm just going to zoom into this region again. I'm going to hide the solid model itself and hide the stock. And what we can see within our part view, we had our original turn and a new turn has been created. So with that new turn selected, let's make a comparison. We can see our tolerance of A12, which moved in negative 0.51 millimeters. We can see the chamfer has remained constant and been brought down with that tolerance. If we zoom out and pan over, we can again see the relevant tolerance applied to segment 3. We increased the distance of segment 4 from the face by 0.5 millimeter, so we can see this has moved to the left in negative Z. And finally for segment 5 we applied a tolerance of -0.5 millimeter. So we can see that we've parametrically updated our turn feature and can now finish off programming the part.